You hear this motherfucker right here. I could be asleep and I would hear this. I would wake up instantly. I would wake up. Like James A. Janice, he's that guy. Salute to you, big brother.
Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies. I'm James A. Janice, and I am so MFing excited, y'all, because we are once again looking at Scream 1996, which competes with The Thing as my all-time favorite horror movie. I can't say enough about how much Scream has influenced me. I remember running scared from the opening scene as a 7 or 8-year-old, and being proud of myself when I overcame that fear just a couple years later. I watched the first 3 installments religiously during my first horror movie obsession, back when I learned HTML just to code my own website. While I didn't catch Scream 4 when it first came out, it was filmed in my college town of Ann Arbor, Michigan. And of course, I had a freaking cameo in Scream 5.
What? Scream, that's how you know you made it, bruh. That's how you know you made it. Whenever you like, you doing cameos and shit. Watch me start cameoing, bro. Y'all gonna see me. Y'all gonna see me, bro.
Coolest thing Chelsea and I have ever done, besides get married. This franchise means the world to me, and
that one's not as cool as being in the movie, but congrats though.
These kill counts will not be unbiased, but honestly, no review is. I'm just being upfront about how important this series, and especially this first film, is to me. I mean, I wrote about it in a published book. But Scream isn't just important to me, it's important to the horror genre overall. I'd argue it's one of the 5 most influential horror films ever made. It kicked off a second wave of slashers, the subgenre so integral to horror, people often think they're one and the same. Slashers were made huge by Halloween and Friday the 13th, and ruled the genre in the early 80s. But by the mid-1990s, they were a joke of their former selves, and the horror genre had largely disappeared from the zeitgeist. That's not to say there weren't good horror flicks.
Imagine you going to the movie and you try and get scared, right? And then this nigga Freddy Krueger is playing Nintendo 64. I would dead ass leave the movie theater right there, bruh. Are you fucking with me? Nigga got his size 15 Timbos on the table. Then he playing Whack 'em and Jack 'em.
Horror genre had largely disappeared from the zeitgeist. That's not to say there weren't good horror flicks still coming out. There were, but to the general audience, horror films were just stereotypes. They were a punchline. Scream came in and acknowledged that the genre was full of tropes, but not in a jokey way like Jason Lives had done a decade prior. Instead, Scream kept the stakes high and the horror grounded. The characters talked about the same horror movies the audience had seen in real life. It might be hard to understand now, when every movie is filled with references, but back then, it was unusual for characters to show this specificity of pop culture knowledge. It wasn't every day you were hearing references to The Howling.
What's that werewolf movie with E.T.'s mom in it?
The Howling.
The Whip-Smart script was written by Kevin Williamson, whose work perfectly captured the spirit of teenagers in the 90s. After Scream, Williamson would create Dawson's Creek and write more horror films that encapsulated the era. Finding a director proved a bit of a challenge though, with George Romero and Sam Raimi both passing on the script. Wes Craven also turned it down at first, but changed his mind after hearing Drew Barrymore was attached. And after a young fan at a convention had told him his movies had gotten too soft. Craven didn't start directing until he was in his 30s, when he made Last House on the Left, a zero-budget rape revenge film. He'd go on to
rape
before creating A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Because he gotta rate the films.
In 1984. That gave the world Freddy Krueger, the biggest horror icon of the 80s. But I guess that wasn't enough for old Wes, since he made another monster hit with Scream a dozen years later. Wes would stick with the series for the rest of his life, with Scream 4 his last directorial effort before he passed away in 2015. Thanks
RIP to the bro, RIP to the legend.
In large part to his efforts, Scream is one of the strongest horror franchises through and through. Every installment gives a sort of state of the genre, discussing and reflecting on horror's tendencies at any given time. The first dissects slashers, the second
I've never seen any of the Scream movies. I gotta catch up on my horror, bro.
Explores the rules of a sequel, and the third caps off the original trilogy by going full-blown Hollywood. A decade later, Scream 4 came out, guns a-blazing at torture porn and the proliferation of remakes.
He said torture foreign, because it's foreign.
Pass before the 5th film tackled so-called elevated horror, and more pointedly, the more recent requel phenomenon. Aside from the first film, no Scream is perfect, but no Scream is bad either. It's great. As for the original, it's one of those movies where everything just came together. It's got a hell of a cast, an engaging whodunit mystery, and fucking Ghostface, man. Everybody knows Ghostface, and his voice.
Hello, Sydney.
The first 3 Screams were released between 1996 and 2000, and were then directly parodied by Scary Movie later that year.
Nah, if you know Scary Movie's a goat, bro.
Scream was the horror subgenre of the late 90s. I used to take that for granted, since I was a kid at the time. But looking back, it's hard not to appreciate its impact. Scream's funny, it's scary, and it was a massive success. And it all started with a phone call. Oh, hey, speak of the devil. Hello?
Yo,
Timothy.
these niggas stay getting sponsored by Raycon. Like, we get it, bro. Raycon. We get it, bro. Relax. We gonna skip past the obvious ad of Doomerson.
Check out Raycons for yourself and get 15% off your purchase at can take a trip to NorCal in the 90s and find out how many kills there were in Scream. The movie begins with a phone call. Oh man, someone dialed title card! Woodsboro High School student Casey Becker answers the phone to a velvety, sexy voice. She says the caller has the wrong number, but he calls back again anyway. They wind up talking about Jiffy Pop and then about scary movies.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
But that weak ass voice, my voice would be like, let's say I'm in Scream, right? And I'm the killer, I'd be like this. What up, what you shawty? How you doing? I see you from the window, that little shit popping. Like, that shit fat, let me come inside the crib. Could you get away from me? Girl, stop playing. What up? What you do? How you feeling? Jiffy Pop, I'm trying to turn on the movie. Let me pop that butt. That's my Scream voice.
What's your favorite scary movie?
They name drop Halloween and Wes Craven's own Baby, A Nightmare on Elm Street.
I like that movie. It was scary.
Wow, well, the first one was, but the rest sucked.
Oh, come on, Wes. Even New Nightmare?
I did not write that line.
Oh, fair enough. I mean, you can't write New Nightmare.
Imagine you working on a movie, right? And like they like, oh, you on a song with an artist and he dish you mid song. You're like, what the fuck?
Testing ground for meta horror.
I am not. She's way older than me, bro. I'm just saying, like, if I was him, I'd be like, let me
2
pop
years
that
prior
butt.
to Scream. It featured the actors and Craven playing real versions of themselves, while an evil entity takes on Freddy Krueger's appearance and tries to infiltrate the real world. Wes Craven's New Nightmare is a great movie, but it didn't resonate with audiences the way Scream did. I think the difference is the comedy in Kevin Williamson's script. New Nightmare is way drier and takes itself more seriously. Of course, despite its humor, Scream keeps scares as its priority.
Why do you want to know my name?
I want to know who I'm looking at.
Fucking chills. This whole opening scene, one of the best in horror history, is an homage to the opening scene of When a Stranger Calls. Scream's references to other horror movies are way too vast to mention in a kill count. I know I've said this before, but I do hope to make a separate video detailing them sometime. And if I don't, well, I'm sorry, okay? Before you can pull a magnum and say, pop, pop, the caller's voice changes from sexy to scary.
You hang up on me again, I'll gut you like a fish, understand?
This threat of home invasion gets Casey jumping scared, and she reaches a fever pitch when she sees her boyfriend Steve Orth tied up outside. The caller tells her she can try to save his life while creating a catchphrase for a puppet.
I want to play a game.
The game is Ghostface's Horror Trivia Night. Casey correctly names Michael Myers as the killer in Halloween, but fumbles the ball when it comes to Friday the 13th.
Jason!
As any pedantic, horror-loving kid knew to annoy their friends with, like me, Pamela Voorhees was the killer in Friday the 13th. Adult Jason showed up in the sequel. And don't even get me started about the hockey mask. Because Casey got it wrong, Steve loses his life. He gets stabbed to death in the dark. The lighting and editing...
Damn, they genuinely just sliming his shit.
Evisceration in the end, especially in the unrated version. Them guts be sloppy. Effects for Scream were done by the ubiquitous K&B
It's
effects.
fake. See, it's
For
effects,
Steve's
Twitch.
death, they made a chair with no back so actor Kevin Patrick Walls could kneel behind it, with his upper half sticking out over a fake abdomen. The belly was filled with rubber, latex, gelatin, and fake blood that then fell to the ground, something the MPAA was not a fan of, which is why it's cut in the R-rated version. With a chair
It's
through
fake.
Casey's window, we're off to the races. There's no place to hide, but Casey arms herself with a knife, and even uses the phone as a weapon when she needs to. Eventually, though, while going the distance, Casey's caught by Ghostface.
Bro, how does she not know her own crib? Like, I could understand if he was like stalking your house for a while and learn the layout of your house, but I'm using the layout of my house to my advantage. Like, you know what I'm saying? A nigga don't know what I got in my crib. I stand behind the door right here and just slime your shit from the balcony. And then, second off, I wouldn't even let the nigga in my house. Like, my girl out on the porch, she getting slimed. So what? Okay, let's be real. So what? There's a billion of them. This ARP finna knock that mask off. Just saying.
Probably shouldn't have started running in slow motion.
And GTA 5.
That was dumb. The violence here is much more realistic than a lot of slashers. And even more impactful is the emotional moment as Casey tries to call out for her parents. They end up hearing her through the phone as she's stabbed. Worse is when they come outside. It is not a pretty sight.
Damn!
Casey's death was done in a similar way to Steve's, combining Barrymore and a fake corpse. But this time they made a full body dummy since it had to be hanging from a tree. The death of Drew Barrymore's character was a huge twist for the theater-going audience. The movie had marketed the shit out of her involvement, so it became a surprise and also a reference to Janet by
That's fake.
Interestingly, it was Barrymore's idea to take the role of the cold open victim. She was originally cast as Sidney Prescott.
She is beautiful. I'll give her that though. Maybe it's the hair, you know what I'm saying? PBK love is all over her ass. Maybe it's the hair though, but she is beautiful, like genuinely. I ain't even gonna say nothing like, you know what I'm saying? Cause usually I'd be like, golly, that she bad, but she's beautiful. It's an upgrade.
Actual final girl, but changed her mind about starring in the film only 6 weeks before production began. I'm not sure why. Maybe she only wanted to work the 5 days it took them to shoot the opening, which took place in April 1996 at the very start of production. Taking over for her was the 22-year-old Nev Campbell, who had been in The Craft and 2 seasons of Party of 5. Campbell's acting is the bedrock of Scream's success. Sidney Prescott is my
Okay. Niggas talk about it's them DSLs. We gotta stop. We can't be saying stuff like
favorite
that.
final girl of all damn time, even if her taste in dudes is greasy-haired window climbers like Billy Loomis. Sid's boyfriend is played by Skeet Ulrich, whose intensity is only matched by his good looks. He's well known now among a certain audience as Jughead's dad in Riverdale. Billy desperately wants to get into Sydney's pants, but she hasn't been interested in intimate affairs this past year. Sorry about your dry dick, Bill, but try to have some understanding. Sid's still mourning her mom.
Only a year ago, Maureen Prescott, wife and mother, was found raped and murdered, not
Taped. They taped her up. They taped her up. Taped.
That human highlighter
Because she got taped because they killed her in
Gail
the
Weathers,
movie.
loudest clown at the media circus that descends on Woodsboro High. Media criticism is a big part of the Scream film.
I'm not gonna lie, boy. What the hell is that outfit? Shorty got on a lime green 2-piece with buttons of Hellington. But that jacket hard though. I'm not gonna lie. That jacket's hard. Not on her, on him.
Then 30-year-old Kevin Williamson was inspired to write Scream, originally entitled Scary Movie, while house-sitting by himself one weekend. He watched a sensationalized news report about the 1990 Florida serial killer deemed the Gainesville Ripper. He was so freaked out he called a friend for comfort, and they talked about their favorite scary movies. Williamson's script was immediately popular, and a bidding war broke out between production companies. It was ultimately purchased by Dimension Films, which, along with its parent company, Miramax, was founded by the Weinstein brothers, Harvey and
one of them is, let's say, in jail for crimes.
Bob. Bob specifically made some major decisions for this film, like releasing it in December and changing its name from Scary Movie to Scream, inspired by the Michael and Janet Jackson duet of the same name. I fucking hate that these fucks are part of this movie's DNA. In my research, I kept having to see the same picture of that nasty ogre and his fuckhead brother. It was gross.
Does this Snicker bar actually find this shit funny? Are you calling me a Snicker bar? And this video ain't funny, you fucking goon.
Cut. Young Spike, you have something to say. You have to say it loud. This double dolly shot is devised to put the audience in your shoes. Let's do it again.
Sydney's tragic recent past earns her sympathy from Principal Fonzie and the Woodsboro PD.
Sure as heck ain't scary. Sorry, Pepper, that we don't all dibble-dabble in dark arts and ancient evil magics.
Burke, played by Joseph Whipp, who also played a cop in Nightmare on Elm Street. Woodsboro's deputy, Dwight Dewey Riley, is extra caring towards Sydney. That's cause he's the older brother of her best friend Tatum, played by Rose McGowan. Sid and Tatum Tots hang out with the rest of the gang at the Friends Fountain, which includes Grease Bucket Billy, Tatum's boyfriend Stu Macher, and Randy Meeks, the geeky fifth wheel of the group, who makes movie references and talks in silly voices.
Did you really put her liver in the mailbox? Because I heard that they found her.
Watch the boiled one or any Dr. Nowhere stuff. We'll
Not to be
see.
outdone by Jamie Kennedy, Matthew Lillard makes sure to choose some scenery himself.
Never alone. Ow, liver. It was a joke.
And he will choose so much more.
I look back at that performance, I'm like, what was he letting me do?
Sydney gets back home, which is empty for the weekend. Earlier, her dad told her he was going out of town.
This
for a
guy's name
convention.
Billy is
Wonder if it's the
badass.
same one Rand Peltzer got stuck in. Sid's house, like
Billy
he said, is
badass.
huge and empty, so she probably shouldn't be there all alone. Not with you-know-who calling around.
Hello, Sydney.
The iconic voice on the phone was provided by Roger L. Jackson, who would later go on to voice Mojo Jojo in the Powerpuff Girls. Craven never let the other actors meet Jackson, keeping him a scary stranger voice while they filmed their scenes.
When I'm working, I have a monitor there, so I can see through the camera's POV, though they can't see me, of course.
The caller once again plugs my interview show when he asks Sydney, "What's your favorite scary movie?" In response, Sydney talks shit about the genre.
They're all the same. Some stupid killer stalking some big-breasted girl who can't act, who's always running up the stairs when she should be going out the front door. It's insulting.
Her shallow judgment of horror is met with the caller breaking out his scary voice.
Do you want to die, Sydney? Your mother sure didn't.
I'm not gonna. Her lips are crusty as fuck. They ain't tell her you about to get a close up. You gonna need some chapstick. They dead ass just let her like leave the crib, lips crusted over. They bogus as hell for that.
Ghostface appears from inside her house and attacks Nev Campbell's stunt double. They talk joke, but she fends him off with a kick that sends him flying. With the front door locked, she's forced to be a stereotype, but
How the fuck the front door lock?
keeps the ghost-faced killer out of her bedroom long enough for her, 14 4K internet to connect her to the police. A Billy boy suddenly pops in through the window, hugs Sid, and drops his cellular telephone. Why, I hear only witches have those devices. Witch! Ah, ghost! Damn it, Dewey, why would you hold it like that? Billy is arrested despite his claims of innocence, and Tatum rolls up in her toy car to be there for her best friend. I love Dewey as this boyish Barney Fife, who reverts to being a kid when he learns that Sydney's staying overnight with them.
Does Mom know?
Yes, doofus.
He's such a
I
funny
can't hear you.
leading male character.
God damn it, Dewey.
What did Mom do? When I wear this badge, you treat me like a man of the law.
Billy and his werewolf-looking dad maintain his
He's been good.
innocence, but Sydney don't know what to think about
Yeah,
her
you
boyfriend.
can't cut the
She
wife from
definitely
it.
know what to think about Gail Weathers, though, who's slinking around
What
the
you cooking? I
station
brought you
looking for a
food.
scoop. Gail's been writing a book
On your
about the
desk.
murder of Sydney's mom.
On your
but
desk.
Sid didn't exactly put in a pre-order.
Chinese.
I'll send you a copy.
Yeah, before it
If
closed.
that happened today, I bet someone would make an auto-tune version. Viral.
Send you a copy. Bam! Bitch went down. I'll send you a copy. Bam! Sid. Super bitch. Super bitch. Bam! Bitch went down.
Sydney hates Gail because her
I don't know
book
what
is
that
trying
little
to
rap was
exonerate
about.
Cotton Weary, the man arrested for murdering Sydney's mother a year ago. Gail thinks Cotton is innocent, and if these latest killings are connected, maybe she could prove it.
If I'm right about this, I could save a man's life. Do you know what that could do for my book sales?
Hit you in the face with book sales. She approaches the case through the proudly stated 25-year-old Deputy Dewey. It doesn't take long for her to start whittling her way into his naive heart. Gail and Dewey's relationship is so fun to watch throughout the series, especially since it led to a real-life romance and marriage between David Arquette and Courtney Cox. And it all starts here with this well-written and well-acted conversation.
You
In
know
a
I
demographic
got
study,
you.
I proved to be most popular amongst males 11 to 24. Because I just missed you.
25.
BBK,
David
BBK.
Arquette
Get
is
it.
absolutely
I'm butt ass naked under this blanket.
Dewey's my favorite, man. Eating his little ice cream cone while
No, I'm
discussing
not chat. I'm
suspects.
trolling.
He even kind of misses putting his sunglasses on. God, he's the best. Dewey was originally written as a more muscly hunk, but after being cast as one of the high schoolers, David Arquette requested he play the deputy instead, partly because it meant he'd get to kiss Courtney Cox. Aside from possibly Drew Barrymore, the 31-year-old Cox was the most well-known of the cast, being 2 seasons deep into Friends. She had to lobby hard to get the role of Gail Weathers, since at first Craven didn't think she
You
could
about to
be bitchy
sub?
enough.
Hey, you know, we would love it type shit. We would love it. I don't know why people get so many ads. Like, I literally turned my ads down. That's crazy.
Released since it's
I'll pause it, though. I'll pause it. I'll pause it for you. We ain't gonna we're not gonna let no unsubs go unviewing. You know what I'm saying?
bleed. After overhearing
forget you, Pep.
Closet,
Maybe she's a slut.
Nah, I love you.
Like her mother.
She said maybe she's a slut.
she escapes pretty easily.
What the fuck? Nah, she might deadass be the best girl from a horror movie, because look at what she doing.
Slut, just like her mother.
She said slut.
Sydney gets attacked.
Look. He going in, he about to pickaxe her, right? W kill. Slide cancels right underneath the mats, underneath the building. She slide cancel, turned around, put a floor case up. Boom.
Pretty easily. Some people think this bathroom attack wasn't from a real ghost face, but I don't see why it wouldn't be. Sure as clump.
The manifestation of my being in the future. You will be asleep in bed.
So, why the fuck did Satan and his goons just pop down about right here? Like, just a question that needs to be answered, but genuinely, what the fuck?
In any case, it gets school canceled for the day, and Stu immediately declares he's having a party at his farmhouse. He'll carry all the women there! Principal Hembry's not invited, but he'd be too busy anyway, fonzing his hair in the mirror and pointing out Wes Craven's cameo that references his earlier horror hit.
Damn little shits. What you call me?
I am gonna watch it. I gotta finish this one.
Not you, Fred.
Oh, Wes, you were so cute. Not sure why you're falling down while filming this, though. Hembry gets killed in his office by a ghost face who was staying late after school. Wonder what club he was part of. Probably theater. How else would he get that sparkly-ass robe? Ghostface's costume is iconic, of course, but they had a hard time figuring out what he should look like. The script simply said a ghostly white mask. Howard Berger of KiII sketched a bunch of initial ideas, but they were way too grotesque and
yeah, those is too, like, too gaudy
to be taken seriously. Luck came upon production while location scouting at the house where they shot Hitchcock's Shadow of a Doubt. The perfect mask was found in a bedroom by producer Marianne Madalena, Wes Craven's longtime producing partner, who was born in Lansing and went to MSU. Go green? Just this once. At first, since they didn't own the copyright for the mask, KiII tried to sculpt their own imitation. Production began with this version, which can be seen in many shots of the opening and every scene with Principal Hembry, since Henry Winkler shot all of his stuff in one day right after they finished the opener. The KiII mask has squintier eyes and a smaller mouth, which is thinner at the bottom, thanks to Scream Trilogy for that info. Craven still preferred the original mask they found in that house though, and eventually they tracked down the makers. Fun World, a small New England company who agreed to let them use it as long as they were always given credit.
Being just a simple country boy that I am, I said, okay, that's fine, just be sure that you, in the credits, say Ghostface, courtesy of Fun World Easter Unlimited, our parent company, and send $100.
You don't want...
Damn, Twin could have asked for more than 100. Should have asked for about 100,000.
Waste your precious downtime.
Oh, you're eating a steak? A W food, W dinner.
Your hectic schedule.
Fun World masks were used for the rest of the production, and are even in the opening scene thanks to some reshot inserts. Everyone in Woodsboro has their own theories about who the killer is behind that mask. Horror expert Randy thinks that Billy's a guilty boy. Stu thinks it's Sydney's still missing father. Basically, everybody's a suspect! Billy lets Randy know he doesn't appreciate the accusation. Stu lets Randy know he does appreciate his earlobe. The town closes for curfew.
So, why do I feel like it's either one of them two freaky ass niggas? What do you mean you appreciate his earlobe? And why are you grabbing him by the collar? It's one of the two.
As Red Right Hand plays.
It's one of them.
Dark Cowboy song by Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds that was already used in an earlier montage. It would basically become Scream's unofficial theme song, appearing in all of the films but the fourth one. It's also used as the theme to Peaky Blinders, but it'll always be the Scream song to me. As for Woodsboro, it's played by the city of Santa Rosa, located about an hour north of San Francisco. Woodsboro High was supposed to be played by Santa Rosa High School, but even though the school staff agreed to it, the school board shot it down.
They didn't really want to glorify violence against children.
This isn't necessarily just a case of pearl clutching though. The city, which had a town hall meeting to discuss the school's use in the production, was still reeling from the case of Polly Kloss, a 12-year-old from a nearby town who had recently been kidnapped and murdered. Craven said later on that in retrospect, he understood their concerns, but he was pretty pissed by the last-minute pullout at the time, thus the peculiarity at the end of the credits saying no thanks whatsoever to the school board. Instead, the high school was played by a community center in the nearby Sonoma. An hour into the film, we make our...
So how he gonna get mad? Because the little girl was genuinely slimed, like genuinely killed. And they was like, you know what? People are still hurt from this. Maybe we should just not do it. He's like, oh, fuck you, Ponderosa High School. I'm like, okay, that was just fucking rude.
Way there, folks. The party at 261 Turner Lane, one of the coolest third act locations for a horror film ever.
Eloise!
Spend more than 40 minutes at Stu's spacious, twisty
Get her.
farmhouse, all of which is shot on location at a house now known as the Spring Hill Estate. Located in Tamales, this spacious farmhouse sits on a hill super isolated from anything around it. In one of the top 3 coolest things ever done with Dead Meat, in November 2021, Chelsea and I
fucking
went out to the Scream House and stayed there overnight. We were amazed at how much the action of the movie matched the house's real layout. We made a damn good video walking through what happens where. Be sure you check it out sometime. There's no better way to make a party lame, though, than the presence of a cop and a reporter. Dewey's here to play protector, but Gail's guile gets her into the party with him.
You're underage, son. I'm kidding. Have a good time. Watch the driving.
There, she plants a camera pointed at a bunch of drunk teenagers. Gail, you were just asking for legal troubles. Later, she learns her teen feed has a 30-second delay, like she were living in the post-Nipplegate world. Speaking of nips, Tatum heads to the garage to...
Oh my gosh, they're staring at me.
Second delay, like she were living in the post-Nipplegate world. Speaking of...
Like, did she have a fucking ice bath beforehand, before she filmed this scene?
Nips, Tatum heads to the garage to re-up her boyfriend on brewskis. While she's in there, a ghost face appears, ready to do his best David Byrne.
Oh, you want to play Psycho Killer?
Things start getting serious, enough for a party foul. And after the steel gets broken out, Tatum has no choice but to fight back. Ghostface, you are the sloppiest mess. Look at you, man. You're covered in beer. And you're doing clown stunts and shit. Ghostface gets the last laugh when Tatum tries to crawl out through a cat door while incorrectly estimating her bust. She's stuck as the killer turns on the world's strongest garage door motor, and killed when she's crushed against the roof of the garage. Even Ghostface
that's
like,
crazy.
Wow, that really worked. This memorable kill was a bit difficult to do. They had to nail Rose McGowan to the inside of the garage door so she wouldn't fall out.
I see the vision.
She clearly fits through it most of the time. They used a fake body for the ultimate crushing shot, which had to be cut from the theatrical release. The MPAA kept threatening to give Scream an NC-17. Craven and editor Patrick Lussier had to recut and resubmit it 9 times in order to get the R rating. The party clears out as the trash is brought in. Billy Loomis, looking as greasy as ever. Stu offers them his parents' bedroom, and Sid takes him up on the opportunity. She apologizes to Billy for her chastity, saying she was afraid of becoming like her mother. I always forget how much Maureen Prescott's promiscuity is mentioned in this movie. Well, nothing like talking about your mom's sex life to get you in the mood.
What happened to her mom?
Goes to Pound Town with Billy, which is not what you're supposed to do if you're in a horror movie, according to Randy downstairs. He interrupts a viewing of Halloween to go over the rules of surviving a horror film. No sex is number 1, followed by no drugs or alcohol, and finally, you can never say I'll be right back.
Cause you won't be back. I'm getting another beer. You want one? Yeah, sure. I'll be right back.
Gail's not into this meta shit, so she leaves with Dewey. He's checking out a car reported on the side of the road. The party dies down.
He finna go thrash some shit.
Leave after they hear that Principal Himbry's body is hanging from the school's flagpole. In fact, this is why Himbry was killed in the first place. It was a late addition to the script, done solely to clear out the last of the party extras. On their way out, the teens drive Dewey and Gail from the side of the road, and closer together. Ooh, these two about to be horizontally dancing in the dark. The romance is cut short when they find the reported car, owned by Sydney's still missing father.
Everybody's a suspect!
Sydney and Billy are debriefing from their bone sesh when her suspicions
her
body felt a few minutes ago, aroused. They're quelled when Ghostface appears in the ghost flesh and flays Billy's torso with a knife. He calls out for Sid, then collapses, kicking off an elaborate chase scene through the house.
So he just slimed, he got slimed like that. Maybe he wasn't the killer. Maybe I was wrong, bro.
Are a staple.
But he was moving so weird.
Scream movies, and this one starts that motif off strong. Again, check out the video we did to see how much it follows the place's real layout. Sydney winds up falling backwards onto a big old boat mattress, and the sight of Tatum's corpse sends her fleeing from the farmhouse. She takes refuge inside the news van with Gale's intrepid cameraman Kenny. Kenny's been around the entire film, just getting abused by Gale. He's played by prolific character actor W. Earl Brown, who also played a morgue attendant in Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Dude put on 20 pounds to play Kenny, since the script had Gale berating him with fat jokes. Ghostface nearly murders Randy Meeks, who's talking to Jamie Lee Curtis on the TV. It becomes meta when applied to his own actor, Jamie Kennedy.
Behind you, Jamie.
Adam, is this how y'all non-subs be feeling? This is how y'all non-subs be feeling, huh?
Jamie, turn around.
This is one of the only shots where Ghostface isn't played by a stunt performer. Another is a shot in the opening scene. Director Craven wears the masks when Casey hits him with the phone, dick! Otherwise, Ghostface was primarily played by 3 stunt performers. Dane Farwell seems to have done most of the work in chase scenes, and had the idea of wiping off the bloody blade after stabs to avoid continuity errors. Lee Waddell played Ghostface at the start of production, so he did the opening scene and the attack on Principal Hayes.
Go ahead, hit that sub button then.
Tony Cesare played Ghostface for the next kill that's about to happen. Cesare was previously on the kill count, doing that amazing fire stunt in the original Nightmare. God, that thing rules. Sid and Kenny watch as Ghostface lingers over Randy, but due to the delay, Ghostface is already at the van and murders Kenny with a
Whoa, that's fake, that's fake.
Was so convincing, the MPAA demanded it be cut from the theatrical version. Sydney leaves the dead wood behind her and pieces out through the van's escape tunnel, which is not scaled for Ghostface size. Dewey and Gale get back, and while Dewey investigates the now empty house, Gale finds evidence of ne'er-do-welling. Randy pops up and she hits him with the phone, dick! Then finds out Kenny's body is on the roof of the van. Stuck up there something good, too. She has to Tokyo drift it off. That and a flailing Sydney in the road causes Gale to crash the van against a tree. Did I do that? Sydney gets back to the house to see Dewdrop stumble out with a knife in his back. Ghostface retrieves his weapon and continues the chase into another vehicle. God damn, dude, you two have been going at it for so long. It's like, will they, won't they already, right? All this running around was taxing as hell. The whole last act, everything at Stu's house, was a single scene in the script that took 21 nights to shoot at the end of production.
When we finished it, we had t-shirts made, I survived scene 118.
Sydney can't trust anyone anymore, what with Randy and Stu both accusing the other of being the killer.
Everybody's a suspect!
She curses them both.
Yo, Shab, what up, Swin? How you doing tonight, bro? I was in you. I don't want to speak on what I don't know, but I seen you at the RSA thing. Hey, W. Oh shit! Almost just fell out my chair. Fuck! I got a little excited. Oh my effing god! Not another ad. That sub button looking like a golden scoring forward. Go ahead and hit that sub button, bro. So you don't get no ads. You've been talking about it, and you said you get paid at 1 a.m. Hey, so you gotta let me know when you streaming, bro. I'm gonna pop by for sure. I will, like most definitely. We're just watching some dead meat right now. If you know what dead meat is, it's goated, bro.
Out of the bedroom upstairs and all the way down the stairs. Good job, bro. He takes the gun from Sydney and lets Randy back inside so he can show off his best.
You usually stream at like 5:30 PST. I'm gonna be there.
That, he shoots Randy and reveals himself as the killer. It was Steve Ulrich wearing the Ghostface suit behind Randy a few minutes ago. Billy reveals that all his blood is just corn syrup and that the stabbing was faked. And who was his accomplice, Ghostface, for that ruse?
Surprise.
It was them two. I knew they was evil. They was getting freaky in the store. I knew it was them two, bro. Give me my money, bro.
Hi, Sydney.
Yeah, but was it really a surprise? I mean, let's be real. Billy and Stu have looked like murderers in pretty much every scene they're in. Look at
that's literally what I said.
Glance. But to be fair, it's easy to say this in hindsight. I literally can't remember a time I didn't know it was them. With the killers revealed, we get a full 5 minutes in hell as Sydney is tormented by these two, who clearly love each other, by the way, or at least Stu loves Billy. That's probably unrequited. They reveal that they're the ones who murdered Sydney's mama.
Hey, I feel you. I feel you. W lurk though. W lurk. Get your homework done. Go ahead and study, bro. Do what you need to do. Get right so that way in the future, you don't gotta be wrong. You feel me? Go ahead and get that homework done, big guy. Do it now so you don't gotta do it later type shit.
Framed that guy Cotton Weary.
It was fun.
For sure, get your home right now, brother.
The scene gets more deranged as Billy reveals his. He says his father had been having an affair with Sydney's mother.
She's the reason my mom moved out and abandoned me.
Skeet Ulrich's seriousness is perfectly balanced by Matthew Lillard's camp. Lillard's playing everything as loud as possible, fucking spitting all over the place. Some people think it's annoying, but
come on with that shit, dude.
Think it's art.
It's a scream, baby. Hold on a sec. I'll be right back.
Even Lillard has his doubts sometimes, though.
I go back and watch that. I'm like, first of all, I weigh 80 pounds. Second of all, I spit my way through the whole thing.
He comes back with Sydney's father, who they're gonna frame for these murders. But first, they've gotta seem like they're survivors, so they play a round of stomach stabs. It's really the best way to build a friendship. Wow, Billy really wants to be Stu's friend, huh? All that bro love is making Stu lightheaded.
I'm feeling woozy here.
Gail shows up with a gun, having made her way back to the
She got the Glickington with these slime some shit.
house from the accident. But the safety's on, so Billy simply kicks her against a pillar, knocking her down for a little do-nap. Before he shoots her dead, they realize Sydney's gotten away. She calls with the voice changer to taunt them, and it angers Billy so much, he forgets how to hang up properly.
Fucking hit me with the phone, dick!
KiII effects used over...
Do people really think these movies are tough? Like, did they think that acting was tough?
50 gallons of fake blood for Scream, a lot of which was used in this finale. It's actually what led to that line.
These little improv moments came out of because he hit me with the phone. You know, it slipped out of his hands because it was bloody.
Whether written or improvised, this scene is full of Lillard lines that I honestly quote to fucking death.
My mom and dad are gonna be so mad.
Sydney emerges from the closet to stab Billy with an umbrella. That scream from Ulrich is real.
How much longer? Like 5 minutes. We gon' Pepper. We here all night, my guy. We here all night. I'm gonna react to your vid, okay? I'm here all night. I don't plan on going to sleep yet.
It's the protective vest he was wearing and accidentally actually stabbed him. Stu tagged.
Oh, I seen it.
But after a tussle over the couch,
Vids. Okay, that's fine.
breaks a vase over his head and dumps a TV on him. Daniel fries him to death. Zoinks! I'm gonna go ahead and count him here, even though Stu's survival has long been up for discussion. He returned in an early draft of Scream 3, and Lillard has said he'd love to return for Scream 6, which comes out in just a few months.
I wish.
Pepper with the 2 bits, W 2 bits, but I know you're just doing it to get some channel points.
People that make these decisions, I'm available.
But if he's alive in that movie, I don't want any of you future fucks leaving comments saying I got it wrong, okay? I work with what I know. Sydney finds out that Randy's still alive, and Randy's face finds out that Billy's fist is still alive. Sid fingers his wound, and he's shot down by Gail, but Randy warns them not to get too comfortable.
This is the moment when the supposedly dead killer comes back to life for one last scare.
Sure enough, Billy does, but Sydney puts a bullet in his head.
Woo, it's fake Twitch.
Just a badass like that. Alright, who's still living after everything? Sid's dad? Okay, that's cool. Deputy Dewey? Alright, even better. Especially since that wasn't always the case.
When we shot the final scene, so I came out on the stretcher and I was dead. And then Wes did a second take and he said,
You're just living, okay, Pep?
Or something shows that you're still alive.
It was a last-minute idea from Craven to keep Dewey alive. And man, am I glad he did. Love my little doo-doo-ka-choo. The sun begins to rise as emergency vehicles arrive, and the movie ends with Gale Weathers giving a first-hand report on the Woodsboro murders. How many horror characters should have seen their deaths coming? Let's find out and get to the numbers. Oh, you can just stay right there, though. I'll be right back! There were 7 kills in Scream, a solid single-digit start for the series. The victims consisted of 5 men and 2 women, so a more than 2-to-1 ratio of dudes. This count and gender breakdown was only seen once before, in that Boy Meets World episode I covered. Remember that? Good times. With a runtime of 111 minutes, that left us with a kill on average every 15.86 minutes. I'll give the Golden Chainsaw for coolest kill to Casey Becker. Lots of great kills in this movie, but I've gotta give top honors to the one that scarred me as a child.
It's fake.
The lamest
It's
kill
fake.
will go to Principal Himbry. It's not very good. Doesn't even make me want to say ayy. And that's it. Scream came out 5 days before Christmas and
A W Viddy.